All right, welcome back to season 2 of our show. We got a beautiful one for you today. It's short ribs. We're going to show you how to get these trimmed up, seasoned up, smoked up. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so these are short ribs. I'm just going to show you they're bone in and they're not defatted. They got a membrane on the back. Now some of them come in with a lot of fat on the front like this. Some of them actually come in with some of the fat kind of missing and it's kind of scarce on this side, but there's some silver skin on this side. So what we're going to do is start cleaning some of these short ribs up, starting with this one right here. So we're going to put this off to the side. I just want to show you the rest of these. This one right here, it's got a nice little fat cap on the side. I can kind of feel it. I'm just going to show you just a little cut in there. So we're not going to cut into this one. We're going to take down the other one for you, but I'm just going to show you. We're going to leave all that good fat that's in there. And the way you tell good fat is you can see it in there. It's almost like flakes off, soft, and it's mushy like that. That's good fat. You can just break it off with your fingers. It's excellent fat. Off to the side she goes. We're going to show you this one. This one's loaded with silver skin. So we're going to get at that. And we're going to show you this one here that's on the board in the back. And that's loaded with silver skin. You kind of hit an angle where you see it. And you can see all that silver skin that's under there. So we're going to clean all these up, starting with this one. So this guy right here has some skin, and the first thing that I like to do is just kind of put my hands around here and kind of feel what I'm cleaning up first. So let's just examine what I'm working with. As I look down here, I just feel around and I start cutting. So now I'm going to start cutting out this fat over here. Just lift it, drag it along. As you can see, this is not good fat because it's stringy. And if we were going to put that into a grinder, it would just clog up the grinder. And that's not what you are looking for. So we'll get all that off and just pull it away from the meat. And now we can see what we're working with. So now I got silver skin under here. I'm going to take my knife and just gently go underneath the skin, not hitting any meat. And I'll probably have to do this a couple of times just to get my knife up under there, to get that silver skin out of there. Start there, bring it back, and just pull back on the skin, and just let your knife do the work. Pulling back, just like that. And you can see there's very little meat on there, and that's what you want. And it's just a little time consuming, but you got to take your time. This way you're not pulling fat out of your mouth when you're eating this, and just cut through. Just little pieces, take your time. Just pull it back and away. Just like that. Lifting the piece of meat. It might break off on you. Just continue where you left off. Just like that, till you get to the end of the meat. See? It wasn't so bad. We have some fat there, and just a sliver, or just a little bit of the meat on there. That's it. Let's do this piece over here. And it's important that you lift up because you'll go too deep, and you don't want to. Let's turn this cutting board this way. This is why I don't put anything under my cutting board, so I can show you this. You don't want to go too deep into that meat. I'm going to try to get it from this angle and just go with my knife turn this just like this. And just start cutting back. There'll be some pieces of fat you really can't get on a good angle or silver skin. And if you get a good piece of fat, like this one right here, you can always half it. And while you're cooking in the cooking process, if you have a really thin piece like here, just place it over top of it, just like that. And it'll just melt into the meat. So we're going to put that off to the side. That way you protect your thin meat and the thin areas and take it from the ones where it really doesn't make a difference. Nice thick meat. So now you're going to take the bad fat away and replace it with good fat. Just like that. All right. I'm going to get the cutting on these. Picking out my meats, what I want to put back on. Like I said, that's good fat. And then we're going to meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so this is what came off of the meats. This is the fat. Now what I did was I took off all the bad fat. I took off the silver skin and I replaced it with a good fat. So if you look here, these are just patches. I just put it on. Nobody would know the difference. It's going to render off and it's going to keep our meat moist as we're cooking through. Like I got a piece here and I'm going to put a piece on the end over here. Just to keep it moist on the end. And that's good fat. So that's what we'll do. It's going to cook in and cook off. So right here I have some seasonings. This is called a 5-spice season. I mix my own. I have a video, a link in the description. And it has how I mix my spices. So this is a 5-spice. It has star anise, cloves, cinnamon, fennel seed, Szechuan pepper. And I just mix up my own blends, and I don't do it the same every single time, and I just do it different every single time. So for this, I have a little bit different blend. I probably won't remember what I put on here, but it's pretty much the same. Black peppercorn and soy sauce. So we'll start just by putting some of the 5-spice on. Now we're only doing one side of this. I'm not salting these. This is an Asian short rib. Asian style. Now we are using Asian spices, but every region's different. Today this will be closer to China. Okay. We're going like that. I'm just going to kind of go spotty with it. I'm not really going to rub it in. I'm going to pat it in. So it doesn't overpower the meats. All right, there you go. Now we're going to go in with our black pepper. This is black peppercorn, even though it has the Szechuan pepper in there. I'm going with black pepper because I like the black pepper flavor on here. This is black peppercorn, very coarse, as you can see. And we're only going with just a little bit of it, not much, just a sprinkle. You can hear how hard it hits the board. Now we're not going with any salt. And last but not least, we're going in with our soy. So we're going to need a good amount of that. And we're just going to pat it in. We rub it, we're going to move everything around. And we're going to move our fats around, which I don't want. So we're going to go with this, and we're going to leave it out to settle in. We could either go overnight, which I'm going to do, or you could just go for a couple hours. Just like that. Just pat it in so you don't disturb all of that nice fat that we put on here. Doesn't take long. I'll probably get a little bit on my table just because my pan is crowded, but it's alright. I use this pan just so I can get it in the fridge with ease. Alright, see? Doesn't take long. And this soy replaces the salt, which on beef ribs, me personally, I like mine without the salt. Because if you get a thin rib, these are short ribs, so you get a thin rib, and that salt might suck out too much of the moisture, and you get a thinner product at the end. Alright, so that's it. We're going to get this in, like this, into the fridge, and we're only marinating only on the top, and that'll soak down into the meat. And onto the smoker they go. There you have it. See that piece of fat there? Just put it right on there. Cover up that nice spot. Alright. Overnight in the fridge, and we'll see you out onto the cooker. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, this is what we're rolling with today. This is a gravity fed cooker. Let's show you around. So this is a gravity fed cooker built by a company called Built Right. They're out of business now. Nice large cooker. Thing weighs a ton. Nice solid door, nice cook chamber inside. Better close her up. This is how you fuel her up. On the top here, charcoal goes down. You light it from the bottom, and all the charcoal will burn as it's going down. Let's close her up. Now, we have a link in the description that we're leaving, and it's going to leave a complete breakdown to this grill. This is its fire chamber. Now, as the charcoal's burning down, it's going to ignite that wood that's on the bottom there. That's just for flavor, but this grill basically runs on charcoal. Lump, coal, whatever you give her, she'll eat it. This is how I adjust my airflow. And that's it. We're going to get her fired up, and we'll meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Our fire's lit. We're going to let this cook down, and then we're going to let it stabilize. Because with this grill, and you light it from the bottom, that coal has to get ignited and start dropping down. So that's what all the smoke is for. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, time to get this on. Our cooker is at temperature. We're throwing these on at about 280. And I'm just going to go with the metal shelf for these guys. And I'm not going to throw them on the top shelf. I'm going to make sure our fat is on there. Now this smoker doesn't smoke a lot when the door is open. When the door is open, it kind of stops smoking just because it's a gravity fed unit. And when you close the door, it starts smoking again. So they're on, and we'll see these guys in about 6 hours. We're going to baste them probably about an hour in. And that's about it. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. So we're about 2.5 hours in, and we're gonna see what we got. All right, let's check this out. Look at those beef ribs. They're cooking. All right, time to close up. And then we're gonna baste them in about another hour. And we're gonna restabilize. That's about it. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Okay, it's time to baste these. Let's see what we got going on here. They're looking right. All right, so we got some balsamic vinegar and just water. And what I'm gonna do is just start from the top of this rack. Just go down with it. Right through the rack, right onto the rib. And I'll do this one directly. This is nice about using the bottle on this one here, because you got a good amount. All right. It's hitting the baffle plate down at the bottom there. And it's steaming up. Now we're going to close up, and we're going to let some of that steam do its work, and let the smoke kick back in. Okay, we're just going to show you a quick pickled corn recipe to go along with this dish. So right here we got 5 pieces of corn. They were on the husk. I cleaned them, dehusked them. This is how you want to cut these. I'm going to cut off the edges and the ends and just place them to the side. Now, I want to eyeball this out. So what I want to do is fill up one of these containers. And I'm just going to eyeball my way through. Now that one broke. Doesn't make a difference. We'll just put it in. And this is what you want to do. Whoops, runaway corn. And just get them in. Just like that. Let's get these in quickly. Now, I'm using a big butcher knife, big meat cleaver. And you guys can do the same thing, because to get through this corn, you're gonna need something pretty sturdy. Let's eyeball that out. We're gonna do it just like that. Let's chop off the end to this one. Get through. And chop off the end to this. I'm not going to do all of these. I'm going to just do this one jar. We'll pickle this one jar. And then we'll pickle the rest. This is my favorite. I usually have these just to snack on. They go with most meals. Great with Asian food. Any kind. And they're just tasty. Just to have around. So let's get that down in there. Okay, so over here we have some coriander seed, chili peppers, dried, black peppercorn, cardamom seed, and right here we have cloves. So let's get just a touch of those cloves in. just like that. Now I split this up for two batches. So this is all you're gonna need. Just a couple of the seeds, a couple of peppercorns in there, a little bit of coriander seed, and black peppercorn. Now I'm just gonna move this off to the side and show you our mixture. This is just 50-50 vinegar and water. Just like you've seen in a few of my other videos, it's a very simple brine, and I use this all the time just because it's done in just a couple hours and you don't have to wait on it. It's right up to the top. I'm going to finish off with just the vinegar because it's not going to make a difference. So I'm going to get my corn down in there, and I'm going to finish off with some vinegar. That is it. Let's just wiggle that down in there. In the fridge it goes for about 3 hours and you're good to go. I'm just going to shake this. Now that will be one recipe. What I'm going to do for the next one, I'm just going to add something a little different. I'm going to add some sugar, a couple of tablespoons. I like them both ways, and just a little salt. Just a little bit. Eyeball it out. See how you like it. And that's it. So the next one I do, I'm not going to add the sugar and I'm not going to add the salt because I like it that way, but my company likes it this way. So I'm going to do a little bit of both. This way you don't have just one option in your house. You got the corn two different ways. And that's it. Give it a little spin so it gets down in there. And there you have it. It'll clear up. And now you have pickled corn. So we're going to get to making this other one up, and we're going to meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, this is done. Let's get this off of here. This is what we got. Look at those. I'm going to get my gloves in here. And get an easy pull without pulling off the bone. So, nice and tender, and that's what you want. Put this guy over here. Just going to slide him to the end and get him off of there. Look at those. You can see it's wiggling. See that? I'm going to get them in, cover them up with some aluminum. Perfect. That's what I like to see. Let them rest for a little bit, and we're all good. All right, we're going to meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, our short ribs, they're off the cooker. They're done. And while they're done, we're just going to show you a quick Asian shrimp dish to go along with these short ribs. So right here I have scallion, purple onion. We got some peppers here, chili peppers, dry chili peppers, and bell peppers. Right here we have garlic, and this is ginger. Let's get this going. We're going to start off just crushing our garlic. We're not going to go too fine with it. That's it. Just give it a quick smash, just like that. I'm gonna smash them all down. Now this is great because we're gonna have this over white rice. And it's just a quick go-to meal when you wanna have just a quick Asian dish. Especially for seafood. The flavors blend well. And it's just a really, really fast dish. So that's it. Just a quick chop. This is ginger. Now I got a trick here. If you guys ever buy your ginger, just buy it, freeze it, and then peel it while it's frozen. It'll last in the freezer for a very long time. Probably 4 months to 6 months it'll stay in there. And that's it. Right now this is ice cold, almost on the verge of frozen. And you just get a much better cut to it when you do it this way. Now we want the ginger a little bit more fine because it's very pungent. When you get a piece of this, it tastes like ginger. So we're just going to go a little bit more finer than the garlic. You don't need a lot of this for flavor because it will overpower the dish and become ginger shrimp, and you don't want that. So I'm just going to put them both in the same dish for now. And now we're going to get to our main dish. So what we'll do is, there's yellow onion. We're just going to start getting it into the basket with the shrimp. Just get it right in there. Use the white and the greens. Just like that. And afterwards, just remember to save a little bit just to garnish. You don't use all your green pieces. You'll just leave a little bit to the side just for some garnish, which I did. So coming to the end, you just gotta bunch these up. And that is it. Get some nice big pieces in there so you can see them. All right. So they're in there with our shrimp. Let's give that shrimp a quick mix. That's how you want that to look, just like that. All right, here's our purple onion. So let's get our purple onion chopped up. Just like that. Just a quick rough chop. And then off to the side. You want these pieces to be quite large. You don't want them getting lost in there, so that's how you want it. I'm gonna eyeball this out. That looks about right for the quantity I want, because they're gonna kind of cook down in there a little bit. And that's it. Now, no recipe is exact. On this show, I don't do exact recipes. I kind of just give you guys a guide of where you want to be, and then you guys can put your own quantities in. You don't have to follow a specific recipe. These are bell peppers, so I'm just going to kind of get the pieces kind of big. I like my pieces big like that in the bell pepper, because I want to find them, and I feel they make the dish when you make them big, and they look pretty in the dish. I'll throw a few more in there, just half them, just like that. So they're nice big pieces. Let's give that a stir. Let's see where I'm at. All right. I think I could use a little bit more. I think I'm going to use it up. Get the white out of there. And that's it. Pieces look like where I want them to be. And these pieces, they got some white on there. They leave a little bit bitterness. I'm just going to cut around them. Nothing goes to waste. There you have it. All right, so onto the stove we're going to go. We're going to take these combinations and we're going to meet you onto the stove. All right, let's get this fired up. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our garlic and our ginger in. Ooh. Likes to pop. And along with that, I threw our pepper in. Our red chili peppers. All right, just when you start to see a little browning, doesn't take long, start getting in your shrimp. We're just gonna go in with the whole thing, everything. I'm on high right now. If I was on my gas stove outside, I'd be a little bit less, but we're cooking on electric. And unfortunately, electric doesn't offer the same thing as gas. I love my gas stove. I feel gas is the only way to go. But it's getting hot in South Georgia. We need air. All right, give it a little shake. This doesn't take too long. It's seafood, it's shrimp. So you want your veggies to not get the life cooked out of them. So we're just gonna keep moving it around. Now if you leave it one spot like this, what it'll do is start to build up water. You don't want that to happen. So you just want to keep it moving and get that moisture out of there. Just like that. Give it a stir. If you're on an electric stove, like I said, just put it on high. Keep it on high. If you get too hot, you can always move it away from the stove and put it back on. And just use that as your temperature gauge. Just take it off, put it back on. That's what I do. Because if you turn down the eye and turn it back on, if you turn down the heat and turn it back on, it's going to take a while for this to heat back up. Just because you're turning the electric down, you're glowing it down and glowing it back up, it's going to take a minute. Now we're not adding any salt to this. We're not adding any soy sauce because most people will add their own soy sauce at the end. I'm a low sodium family, so I don't add any salt. The salt's in the shrimp. A lot of people don't know that, but these are frozen shrimp. Most of the shrimp that come in this country are frozen. Our family eats a lot of shrimp. And you can actually taste the salt in the shrimp. You can taste a lot of it in there. So we don't salt any of it. There we go. Shrimp are turning pink. The veggies are keeping them nice and moist. And everything's working together. Just like that. If you don't want to use a red chili, you can use peppercorns. That works out well too. And that was peanut oil that was in the pan when we got started. So I got the pan hot and we went in with peanut oil. So our shrimp are looking right. We're going to give these a couple of more minutes to get done. because we don't want rubbery shrimp. We don't want to overdo it. I'm going to put the lid on these, take them off the heat, and let them finish cooking. That's it. We kill the heat. Let's move this. I'm going to move it off the heat. I'm going to get my lid on, and I'm done. Fast, easy, simple meal. We'll meet you on the chopping block. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, here we are again, season 2 on the chopping block. Let's show you what we got. All right. Now I cover these up with a little plastic just to hold that moisture in. It's a good trick. So you might want to do that. Just cover them up first. This way you keep that moisture inside. And that's what I do. All right. So we're going to get to cutting into these. Let's pick this bone up over here. Now, our membranes I leave on, and I always leave on my membrane because they hold that moisture in. And you can hear that nice crunch as you get through the membrane. You know you did a good job. So here we go. It'll come nice and easy. You can see how soft that is. Just pushes right down. It'll come nice and easy. Cut right through. You can hear that membrane crunch. All right. We're going to cut this middle one right out. We're going to cut it, crunch right through. Let's show you what we got. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful smoke ring. Nice moisture in there. All right. I'm going to save this one right here to plate up with, and we're going to cut into another one. And we're going to get a nice Pitmaster taste on there. All right, with that. And we're going to just cut it right off the bone. Just falls off the bone. Get that membrane on the back. Look at that. Nice clean bone. All right. Let's get a little Pitmaster taste going on here. Look at that. My favorite bite. A nice fatty one. Fantastic. Beautiful and smoky. Not salty at all. You can taste all those Asian spices. All right, time to plate up. Let's show you what this looks like on a plate. So we're gonna bring our plate in. And the first thing we'll do is get a little white rice on there. Nothing goes better with Asian food than white rice. I'm just gonna give that little rake back. First, before we do that, let's put a bone on the plate. So I'm gonna take this bone and I'm gonna place this bone right there. Let's get our rice on. Right in the middle of the plate. Not too much. Maybe a little bit more dab on that side. And then we're going to add our shrimp. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's show you around. It's got some juice, and that's what you want. Let's plate them up. Maybe another shrimp on there. All right. There we go. Now, I like to just add our pickled corn. That was our pickled corn that we did. And like I said, you want to save some of your scallion because you want to garnish. Just drop some scallion onto the plate. Just like that. Give that plate a little clean up there next to the meat. And there it is. Add a little bit more scallion on the side there. And there you have it. Short rib and shrimp and white rice. I'm going to show you a couple different angles. I'm going to show you that angle. We're going to show you that angle, but my favorite angle will be that angle right there. All right, let's get situated and we'll meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, there it is. Asian style short ribs. Served with Asian shrimp, with peppers and onions. Served over white rice and pickled corn. Homemade. How could you go wrong? And if you like this video and more that are about to come, please hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that little bell to get the notifications. This way you get the videos first. Thank you. Glad we had you. And with no further ado, gotta get that little Pitmaster taste there.